Rabotai, you must understand, part of being humble is that, imagine right now, you got into like an argument about something. Somebody. You, your wife, I don't know, you and your wife, I don't know, whatever it is, a friend, it is that. And you say, for example, you go and you humble yourself to ask mechila. How great would that be? You know, some people, their nose is so high that I'm not going to go down and say sorry to that individual. There's no way I'm going to do that. I cannot do that. I don't have the crazy. I'm going to say sorry to him. He should say sorry to me. I'm the rabbi here. What you understand? People get the attitude. Like, it won't happen. What do you mean that? A humble person understands where he humbles himself to somebody else after something went on, even, he writes, even when you don't need the guy at all. You know, this guy you don't need at all. Even if he gets out of your life completely, you will never look at him, you will never see him, you'll never need a favor from him. That's a real true humble person. That's what he writes. Something happened to him. You don't need that guy, you don't need that guy at all. You go to him and you ask him mechila. That's a very humble person. Would you agree or no? Would you agree or no? It's crazy. Imagine, you don't need the guy. The guy fought with you. I'm going to go to him and apologize. Let him come to me to apologize. You know what I'm saying? Hajishi. Sixth thing to know if you're humble or not, but this is a crazy thing. Talk with humility. Some people, even the way they talk is with the ga'ava. He's saying, talk with humility. He writes, he writes, all these things are simanei avanava. If you talk humble. I told you that guy that was with me in yeshiva. You see his humility is just ridiculous. Even the way he talks, so soft, such a nice tone of voice. You know what I'm talking about? Ever see those guys? Or talk such a soft tone. Sure, no problem. Whatever you like. It's a sign of humility. No problem. You got it. Take care of it for you. You know? Your tone of voice is a different, I'm joking. Your tone of voice is a different tone of voice. And you can see the ga'ava guys. Difference is the ga'ava guys, you know, sometimes the ga'ava, the tone of voice is so strong. What do you mean? Especially in work, in business? What do you mean? And you're the boss? I told you to do this. I want it done now. You're crazy. One guy, I told you this story. I'll never forget. Guy came to my house and I was praising a certain guy. I was like, to show you, you gotta be careful who you're praising. He's like, I work for that guy. I said, yeah, and he's such a nice guy. No, I shouldn't have said that because it could be avak lashon hara. But at the end of the day, the guy tells me, that guy? I was like, yeah, what's wrong with that guy? He said, you know what he did to me last week? So what did he do? He said he came into the office and he needed paperwork, and the paperwork wasn't ready on his table, on his desk. So when he came to the desk and he saw his paperwork not ready, he went to the guy who was supposed to do it. And he knocked on his thing and he told him, where's my paperwork? Oh, I don't have it. You don't have it? I told you 2 weeks to bring it. You don't have it? He took his coffee and he threw it at him. Crazy. True story. He took his coffee and he threw, you know the thing? Sounds like what you do. You see, it's not a proof if he's humble, like if he says, I'm sorry, that's not a proof, because he needs the guy for his money. So he says, I couldn't do anything. I said, why not? He said, because he pays me a very, very high salary, and my salary is so high that I wouldn't get it nowhere else, even if I would walk out. I know it. It's just very high. He gives me a very high salary, and he supported my wife, my kids, my family, this, that. I shut my mouth, and I continued. That's what he told me. Due diligence on his job, getting paid his salary. Gozel from his boss. So Jack and Jacob, they're both saying both things. He's looking at it you're looking at it the boss's standpoint, you're looking at the worker's standpoint. The boss is saying, well, listen, I'm right, you should have had it, I'll pay you high, you better make it sure. But Jacob's looking at the boss. The boss, at the end of the day, he has to have the humility. It's the way he's talking about, the way you talk to people. You also have to be humble. The way you talk to people, you can be firm, you can be strong, but to act like that, it is a sign of a little bit of gafah. Saying throw a thing. Who does that? Who does that? This is what he's telling you. He's telling you two rules over here. He's saying one rule is that a person should humble himself to other people. Even if somebody did wrong to you, or you did wrong, you got into a fight with somebody, and you say to yourself, he's wrong, I'm in the right. All right, big deal. Make shalom, make peace. Humble yourself in front of the guy. You understand? And the way you talk, a person can tell a tone of voice. Sometimes he has the ge'eh in his voice. This is the two lessons that he's teaching us over here in Orchot Sadikim, boys. Gotta